Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Korok's Corner. Today we're going to take a little time out to talk about the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I know there's a lot of controversy in the media right now on which system is going to be the most elite. But I'd like to take you retrospect a little bit back and talk about the Wii U. Now, before the PS4 and before the Xbox One released their release dates, Nintendo took a gamble of sending what they would consider the next gen system and putting it out on the market. Now, obviously, it's a next gen system for Nintendo, but not necessarily for like the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. The Nintendo Wii U was geared for kids and mid adult range ages. Um, it's for the practical gamer. It is a great system. I love my Wii U. I don't have a problem with it. Everybody's bitching about, its technology is not going to be as great as the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Well, you got to remember, they left the starting gate a year before any of this was going on, which means that obviously common sense tells you that Xbox One and PlayStation 4 is going to have superior hardware. Okay, let's not nitpick and belly bitch about that. We obviously know they're going to be more powerful than the Wii U. But when we put it into perspective, these two are on a running match. It's a marathon, and basically the PS4 and the Xbox One, they've got a lot to prove to the public. They've got a lot to prove to their fan base. Now, obviously, the Xbox One has made some concessions. It eased off of the DLC and the copyright of games and selling them. And it realized later on in the race that they're basically, if they piss off their consumer too much, they will lose the marathon. Right now, what the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 have to focus on, in my opinion, if they are to basically clobber each other in the market, they're going to have to work on gameplay ability, not necessarily graphics. You hear everybody bitching and complaining, well, the graphics in this is going to be like so super, and the graphics in this system is going to be like so radical, and like graphics are part of a game, but they do not make the game. The companies like Microsoft and Sony have to ensure that their systems will endure for the coming times ahead. Now, I know you all heard rumors that this is probably the end of the consoles. Well, not necessarily. Xbox is a very great system, has a very large clientele base. PlayStation 3 was a fantastic system and basically was very revolutionized in its multiplayer free online gameplay ability. But the graphics do not make the game. What really truly makes the game, and I said this in my last video, is gameplay ability. We have fans out there for both consoles that love to play the games that these companies provide. And basically they start and they finish the game from the very beginning. Now, graphics are an essential part of gameplay in today's society, and obviously I recognize that. But if the graphics may be great and fantastic, but if it doesn't have enough of the game to actually keep the consumer enthralled within it, then the game itself is going to fail. And basically, if these companies cannot maintain the gamer by putting out good product instead of half-wrote software and just basically make the games worthwhile, you're going to see fantastic things in the console community. And part of the reason why people are saying, well, everything's going to PC, well, PC is a universal platform, unlike the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Now, they're solely individual companies, software, and these game companies have to write software for both consoles. When you come down to it, if you don't write good software and not lock it from your potential consumer, you're going to lose the game. You're going to lose the race completely. So these two companies should just basically put a good system out there and make sure that there are fantastic games for these systems. Because I'm not going to say who's going to win, who's going to be the best one out of there. I do know that Xbox One is now beating the PlayStation 4 in pre-orders. That may be fine, but it's not over yet. The test of time is going to be the next few months after release, when these games are out there for it, and see how well these systems will endure. And basically, we'll follow up on that later and talk a little bit more about that in later episodes. But if the gameplay ability is not in conjunction with the consumer, the graphics mean shit. Okay, plain and simple. You can have HD 720 1080 whatever, but if the gameplay ability isn't there, then basically you just wasted your money. Okay, to have a game because of its popularity, awesome. But if you don't enjoy the game because it's just not living up to your expectations, because there's not enough gameplay, it's just linear, straight in and out, and the game doesn't keep the consumer enthralled within the story of the game itself, then the game is meaningless. This is Karak Xavier. Thank you for tuning in today. I'll have more news and articles later on in the coming week. And take care and peace out.
Mm-hmm.